Okay, cool. Okay, so now we've got this going, and I'm only going to record this part of the meeting because then I can post that at the in the YouTube, like in our Facebook group, or if I have a customer that's wants to hear about it. Um, so anyway, but yeah, so here we are with our discussion. Yay, us!
Okay.
Okay, so and we'll have there. I went ahead and made you co-host, so may have some other people joining in. So basically, what we're doing is we're taking about 15 minutes to discuss the topic that Julia Mundy Garner has asked us to step into, and it's following a book that's called Making Miracles in 40 Days. And so that's the name of the book, and it's by Melanie Beattie. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And so that's what it is. That's what it's geared toward. And looks like we have Marilyn joining us too. Yay. And so basically I was just going to see what you guys, those who have started the book or anything that about it, and just kind of give a little overview of it as well. And then just some of the things that I'm learning as I'm walking through it. So this is where, good to see you, Marilyn. Yay. Yay. I'm glad to see your face. And this is Marsha. I'm not sure if you guys have met before. So if not, y'all gotta be girlfriends.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm bringing my little thing over.
So Michelle, I should purchase this book because I did not. I've been away.
That's okay. You have some options. It's one of those things where you can purchase it if you want, or you can I did an audiobook, or if you're the person who is not is into that, I truly think you could probably follow along with the discussion without purchasing the book, if you're like not in a space where you're like have the bandwidth to read it, or you're like the audio, you're like you're just like what, that I have many other, like I can't put that into a compartment that I can actually do right now. I don't think there's any problem with just following along with the study, because I think you're going to gain something just from following along with the study. I mean, I say that because I have had many Bible studies that I've done and been with, and I never got the book for whatever reason, but I went to the Bible study part and learned along with everybody else, or I would have did it online. So
okay,
that's my thinking. So it's really up to you, however much you want to do. So anyway, so that's kind of my thought on that one. Okay, let me just send a message here really quick for somebody. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, we have people joining in. But anyway, so the thing that I thought I'd go over is ask y'all some questions. Now, I know everybody would love to have a miracle in 40 days, right? I mean, I'm like putting all my hands up. So, is there anything that either one of you guys know about this book or know about the study that we're talking about? Never heard of that before? Not really?
No, I have not.
Okay, Marilyn either. Okay, so basically I'm going to take y'all through my journey in what I've learned from doing this, and I've made some notes on it as well. And basically it sounds somewhat counterintuitive. It sounds almost like not it almost sounds like it's not something that we would typically do, because it's to me it's counterintuitive. So what you're basically doing is, okay, and this is the simple directions. I was like, this is pretty simple, and if you follow it, it seems to be working, because I've been doing it. It seems like it's working. So what you do is you can take like a blank piece of paper, or something you want to write on, or in a computer, or some note section on your phone, whatever you want. And then you're basically going to do this, and it only takes 10 minutes. The idea is set a timer for 10 minutes. And the idea is that you get up, and when you first awake in the morning, before you've been up for a half hour, so like it's getting you at your most raw time, your most vulnerable time, I guess I'd say, in the morning. And what she recommends, now I'm going to give a caveat to this. Nothing that I'm saying here ever takes the place of a therapist or a counselor or a pastor or anything like that you're already doing, okay? because that's I'm clearly not any of those. But and the author was indicating that she's like those things are critical in anyway. But this idea was a way to help kind of manage what we walk through. So the idea is you get up and within the first 30 minutes, get to your paper, set your timer for 10 minutes, and then simply you're going to write down. Number one, this is the Project Miracles. You write down. I feel I'm grateful for, and you're going to just write down the phrase I'm grateful for, and then you're going to do this. You'll have about 5 to 10 things you're grateful for. But what you don't do is what we're not looking for is the Sunday school answer. It's not I feel grateful for my spouse or my house or my dogs. What we're looking for actually is the things that you are not happy with in your life. So all the things that you may be, whatever is bothering you.
I'm grateful for my that hurts. I mean, is that something?
Grateful for your what? I'm sorry.
My stomach, like say my stomach hurts. I'm really not grateful for that, but I'm supposed to be grateful for having this pain in my stomach.
So write that down.
That's just something I grabbed. I don't have a stomach ache. I was just
an example. Yes, this sounds, and that's what I'm saying. This sounds a little bit countercultural, like you would think. The point, and so I'm going to tell you what to do, and then a little bit about why you're doing it. So you're going to write down, I feel grateful for, and then literally the things that you absolutely can't stand about your life that's going on. So the idea is you're going to write down and get out of your system, get out of inside of you, all these things that you might have been stuffing down in yourself. Because we're all pretty good at stuffing things down and being like, it's fine. No, it's totally good. No, that'll be okay, or whatever. And so the idea is that you go for 10 minutes, you're like, I'm not stuffing whatever this is. I'm going to get this out of my body so that it doesn't get squashed down in there. Okay. So like, and you write the phrase, I feel grateful for, and then write down what you absolutely don't like. The things that you would love a miracle to happen in 40 days, but you're just like, this is so screwed up. I can't possibly think that this is going to be a miracle. And so that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. And then they want you to write that down, within 10 minutes to write that down. And it might take you longer than 10 minutes if you really are digging deep and you find that there's a lot of things you're writing down, like you're really mad about something or really hurt about something. It may take longer than the 10 minutes to get that all out of you so that it's out. Basically, it's out. Now, obviously, it stands to reason that if this is, it's logical to me that if you're having a problem with, say, a significant spouse or significant other or someone that's close by that could read what you're writing, that you want to put it somewhere where they can't read it, or put it somewhere that it's great if you can have it so you can see it again. You don't want to have to write it and erase it. But you have to think about, okay, if you're not in a safe place and you're writing because you have maybe a spouse that's a total jerk, and you're having to write about how much you're grateful for the fact that he's such a jerk and you want to kill him, that's probably, we need to find a place to put that's safe. So, okay, so it sounds kind of funny, but there's a reason for that. And so you're putting it all out. That's the point of putting it out. Okay. And then you just write it down. And then the next thing that you do, so you're just kind of getting that all out of your system. And the thing is, okay, you write down, I feel grateful for, and then you write this down. You're not really feeling grateful though. Like this, just know it's like an oxymoron or a contradiction in terms. You're saying, I feel grateful for, and you write all this stuff out that you're mad about, you're frustrated with, that you're irritated by. Maybe it's, that you're frustrated with your neighbor's dog that barks all the freaking time at night or whatever, it is. You're writing it down. It doesn't mean you're feeling that way. It means that you're writing it down. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that to me was a little weird. The next thing that we do is, after doing that, the second list you're doing is a goal that you have within 40 days. So you have to have goals that you want to achieve within 40 days. And so that could be, in Mary Kay, we're really easy to have goals because we always have goals in Mary Kay. Mary Kay is the queen of goal setting situation. You know, it could be, I want to have sold X number of, skincare sets. It might be, I want to be a star consultant. It might be, I want to be a red jacket. It might be, add 5 to my team. It might be, I want to be able to give out goodie bags without vomiting, to people, like, cause I'm not so nervous about it. Like there's lots of goals. Or you may have a goal that you don't have a goal because you haven't thought about having a goal because you have been in a place where you haven't thought about having goals. And you would write down, I am, my goal is to have a goal in 40 days. Okay. So if you don't have one, it's okay to not have one. I write that down. Okay. I'll let Gretchen. So, and you write like 3 to 4 of those, whatever you can get down. And then the last thing you're doing is you're writing down like your magic wand list. So there's Gretchen. Good to see you. Your magic wand. Yay. And so you're writing down the things that you are dreaming that would be just a wonderful thing in 40 days that you would be like, I will be so amazed. Like this will be incredibly incredible when this happens within 40 days, like whatever that is that you're excited about, or it's encouraging or important to you. Okay. So that's what you're writing down on that third section. Okay. So does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Did you say third section?
Yeah, section number 3, because the first section is your gratitude, which you're not feeling grateful for. The second one is your goals. And then the third one is it's like the magic wand list. Like if you could wave a magic wand over your life, here's how, here's what I would love to have, do, or see.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And good to see you, Allison. I know you're into it as well. Yay. So anyway, so basically that's the idea of this Project Miracle. Now I'm going to give you an example of my own. We talked about this last week on here. My example for me was that I don't feel that I'm writing down I feel grateful for, that I really don't feel grateful for. I wrote down that I'm grateful for gaining 15 pounds. When I was actually having a goal of losing at 5, but I've gained 15. So,
Gotcha.
so that, and again, that could, and the reason I'm telling y'all an example of me is because it is easier to, I think, to work with an example, and it just gets it out of my body. And so you can see like that, you can see what that would look like. Now, what I don't want to do is, in writing this down, I don't want to judge myself. I'm not going to intellectualize it. I'm not going to say to myself, I feel grateful for gaining 15 pounds and then say, but Michelle, you've gained muscle mass and you're so much stronger. Like, I'm not going to talk about, I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is writing down, no, I'm grateful for gaining 15 pounds when I was trying to lose 5. So I write all that down. You don't intellectualize it. You just let it be. You just let it be. Okay. And then so that would be, and I'd have maybe several things written down about that. Then under my goals, I might write down, okay, my goal is to, in the next 40 days is to lose 5 of those, or maybe 10 of those. So that's what, I'm just giving you an example of what might be irritating to me, because it's a simple thing to see, to grasp. And it's not a super deep, like I'm not telling you I'm grateful for, I'm going to kill my freaking husband because he makes me want to shoot him. That's not true. So I'm trying to give you something that's a real example. Okay. So that's the example. And then my miracle, would be, how am I going to feel about myself? And my cholesterol is going to be so good. It's going to put me in a great space with my blood pressure. And it's also going to be, that journey path of health, feeling, not tight in my bones and muscles. And, the way that I'm going to be feeling within 40 days about this one particular goal. Okay. And the point of that is there can be multiple things that we're writing down. That's just one little tiny thing, that I'm choosing, that I'm sharing with y'all. Okay. So that's the idea of the situation. And the reason that we're doing this is because what apparently happens in doing this activity is, and I've actually already seen it show up for myself already. We get out this stuff of how we feel about the situation. It's no longer stuffed down into us. We're not just carrying it, and we're not intellectualizing and all of this. What happens is within that time period, things start to occur in and around us that move us forward in this miracle process. that
Okay.
wouldn't have known had we not started this. So I'm going to just give you a quick example of what I've already seen in myself. Just from being frustrated and putting all that out, I've actually been able to make different decisions on the types of foods I'm eating. How am I adjusting that to go to a different method that I want to do? And I've already felt release from it. I've already changed what I put into my face, the different types of foods I put in my face. And I already literally in 24 hours am no longer nauseated. I have way more energy and clarity. And I feel so much better in my digestion. Like that's a big deal. Like, cause then I'm feeling much more better about other things. Doesn't matter if the scale has moved in a bit at all, and I'm drinking even more water. So the health choices, which makes my mind even more clear. So I can already see. And then the other fun miracle, needed to get some blood work done. I also realized, you know what? I should check my hormones. My doctor is not a doctor that checks hormones. She never checks hormones on your blood work ever, nor because she won't treat that. And she never does it. But I called to ask them if they would add that and include that for free, and they're doing it. And they never do that. That's a never. That's a hard pass. That's a hard no. But the nurse asked on my behalf, and she said yes. So now I'm getting all this extra free blood work, which we love, for free from one location. So I don't have to take 20 pints of blood. And then they get to talk to me about it. Now, she's not going to treat me if I have any issues, but the fact, so do you see how that can be a miracle? Some people wouldn't think it's a miracle, but when the answer is no, and it's always no, and then they're changing the rules just for me, it's a miracle. See what I mean? So that's a snippet. So anyway, is there any questions? We went over time by a couple of minutes on what this particular process is. Who has a question about this or a comment or anything like that? And then I'll stop this recording.
I think I pretty much understand my 1, 2, 3 things I need to do. So that's good. I don't have a
No questions. That's great. Okay, like Marilyn or Gretchen or Allison, I know you guys have, Allison and Gretchen have heard this bit of info. You know, do y'all have anything to share of maybe takeaways or things that you've gained or any thoughts about it?
I'm definitely going to try that. I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
Sometimes we get so busy, and so I don't know, just active in life, and we move past things that, like you said, we are buried down. Get stuff down because we're ignoring ourselves. And so what you're doing is you're allowing us to listen to ourselves. And I like the fact that you're saying, let's do this in the morning before we get all convoluted with our calendar and everything else that we have on our plates that day. Let's listen to me and listen to the Lord speaking to me as I come up with these things that I really wasn't thinking about, the fact that I'm upset about some of this stuff, you know, until I sit there for a minute and listen to my heart, listen to my soul, listen to my mind. And so thank you for that. I'm looking forward to getting started.
Okay, that's awesome, Marilyn. I'm really glad you caught the vision of that. That's fantastic. And that's why it was great to talk with you today. I honestly feel like this is going to be a great exercise for everyone in different areas. A couple of our other team members have mentioned to me that they were interested in it and excited about it. And some of them just want y'all to know we'll be, you know, level 10 honest. Noreen, and she has no problem mentioning this. She couldn't be on tonight. But she said, you can go ahead and tell them that I honestly wasn't sure I understood the assignment, because Noreen is the kind of individual, she's like, Michelle, if I'm thinking about it, I got to get that emotion out. I don't have time to sit here and stuff it. It's got to go. And, you know, and boom. And so that's, you know, kind of where she was. And she was like, I'm not really sure I understand the assignment. I'm like, she's like, I can't really find things I'm really irritated and frustrated with, you know? And I was like, well, you know, that's okay. You know, so she said, you just let everybody know that I was having trouble with that. And if they're having trouble too, that it's okay. You know, that some of us are not really sure about the assignment because, you know, we don't know. And so I wanted to share that. And then the other thing that the author said is that sometimes we stuff it so far down that we're not even sure where it is. And we don't even know what that is sometimes, because it's so pushed down, you know, from all of our stuff, like you said, Marilyn. And then there's other days that it seems like it's all pretty good, you know? So the point is that we're learning to listen to us, and then
Yes,
in the process, and truly the results are going to show up as we're working through. The other thing
You-
is, caveat is, you could do this with a friend or not. I personally think to start, it would be better to not have anybody to,
Oh,
talk about this with, because you want to do it just with yourself. So you're not,
Yes.
you need to know yourself before dealing
I
with it.
agree. I agree, Michelle, because I
Yeah.
don't know if you're like me. I have a lot of friends and things that rely on me, so they call me, and so I really wake up carrying other people's complaints and other people's troubles, and I end up praying for other people, and I push myself aside. So I agree that it should just be just you, one on one with you,
Yeah.
because we can get caught up in the problems that other people, and then we're carrying around all that baggage from our friends and things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so that's a double load of stuff we're pressing down.
exactly. You're doing everybody else's. So that's why it's like, do you, and do the activity. And the reason, and we'll stop here because we're a little over time on this, and I just wanted to be sure we, got this locked and loaded. We're going to be doing this activity. I've decided we'll have a little bit of an accountability group. This is the accountability group, meaning that next Tuesday, and I'll go over this in a minute, next Tuesday from 6:15 to 6:30, we'll be on here again. And, for those who want to be on and share, and I'll be on, to go over and basically just, go through what do we have. And again, doesn't mean that we are here to share, like you don't have to share or overshare, or you don't have to, if you're like, I just want to listen, you don't have to share. This is just if you feel like you want to, or whatever. And it's one of those things where if you're like, I can't share, I mean, because I'm recording this, so that way we know what we're doing and we're just, we get this process started. It may be that we don't need to record it. It is really just to provide a space for everybody who wants to participate in this to be a part of it and ask questions about it, and maybe hear other people, as other people are like wanting to share something that they feel comfortable they can do, then it would be a safe space to do that, just for the encouragement piece, not because we are all therapists and are unloading our things, and no, because we don't know all of that. And the other thing is, we're not broken, we're not screwed up, we are made in Christ, and in a way we all heart messes, but we're also made perfect in him. You know what I mean? Like there's all that too. So so that being said, I'm trying to provide a space for that so that we can kind of unpack that a little bit, for those that want to or feel like they can, and or just relate anything that they're learning, about it. Does that make sense? So we can have some continuity in the 40 days, because I truly feel like we're going to see some things show up, and we want to be sure that we can share that, like, hey, I'm seeing this, so it could encourage someone else who's like, I really hadn't seen anything yet, to keep going in the process. So anyway, so that's it. Pretty good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording. Let me figure out how to do that.